Alright, good morning. This lesson is for my Integrated 1 class. Today is March the 27th. It's Friday. Excuse me. So I hope everyone is doing well. I've got a couple more of you doing the assignments, but I want all of you guys to do the assignments. So let's make sure we're doing that. So I just want today to be a day of review. I think that'll do us well through this situation. We'll do 4 lessons through the week, and then on Friday will be a review day. Or the last assignment of the week will be a review assignment. I'd like to just kind of go over what we learned about this week, and we'll just have an assignment that practices these ideas. The first thing we saw this week was rotations. We saw that there's 2 ways that we can rotate. We can rotate in a counterclockwise direction, which we call positive. And remember, the quadrants on a graph goes 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we already know that we count this way in a positive direction. So remember, rotating in this way is a positive rotation. Going the other way, it's opposite way. That'll be a negative rotation. I wrote down the rules. A 90-degree rotation, since it's positive, we're going in the counterclockwise direction. A negative 270-degree rotation means we go the clockwise. We're going to end up in the same location. Remember, every 90 degrees you rotate, you're moving 1 quadrant over. So this would be 1 quadrant to the left. This would go 3 quadrants. So you're going to end up in the same place. But the rule is your ordered pair, what happens is the order switches. The y now comes first, and the sign of the x changes. Remember, if I put a negative in front of a number, that's how I tell you to change the sign. 180-degree rotation or a negative 180-degree rotation. We're moving 2 quadrants in the clockwise or counterclockwise direction, or 2 quadrants in the negative or the clockwise direction. We're going to end up in the same quadrant as we did with this. But this one we're moving 2 quadrants counterclockwise, or 2 quadrants in the clockwise. Our xy turns into negative x, negative y. So what happens to the sign of the ordered pair is they change. If I rotate 270 degrees in the counterclockwise, or I can get there by going negative 90 degrees in the clockwise direction, what's going to happen to my ordered pairs xy is the order of the ordered pair will switch, as well as both signs. Alright, so that's just what we talked about with rotations. Reflections, we actually had quite a few reflections that we dealt with. We had over the y-axis, so we're moving horizontally. So what happens is your ordered pair here, the sign of your x changes and the y stays the same. If I'm reflecting over the x-axis or moving down, xy turns into x negative y, so the sign of the y value changes. If I'm reflecting over the diagonal line y equals x, the order of our ordered pair just switches. If I'm reflecting over the equation y equals negative x, now I have the negative slope line. Xy turns into negative y, negative x. So not only does the order switch, but the sign switch as well. And the last lesson of the week was reflecting over one variable equation. So if I'm reflecting over x equals a number, I make my 2 ordered pairs graph that line. I put the point on the same distance on the other side of that line. So however far away I am from the vertical line, I move to the other side as far. That's how I reflect over an x equals. Same idea for a y equals line. Again, I graph the line using these ordered pairs, and I've put the point on the same distance on the other side of that line. So this is all we did all week. Again, I just want to practice this. Let's make sure we're doing all the assignments excuse me, that are given to you. Again, I hope everyone is doing all right out there. Have a good weekend. Let's get caught up on all our work and make sure we are in a good place for when this ends, and we can say, hey, we did everything we needed to do in this situation, and put ourselves in a really good spot. I hope, again, you guys have a good weekend. I'll post the next video on Monday.